Hi and welcome to Fluff Up. Today's project is making 3 iconic dogs from different Tim Burton movies. So I'm going to be needle felting Scraps from The Corpse Bride, Zero from Nightmare Before Christmas, and Sparky from Frankenweenie. The first step for each of the characters is building a frame. Since the scale of the characters is smaller than I usually make, I chose to use 18-gauge wire instead of pipe cleaners. I wrapped some floral tape around some of the connections just to make them stronger without having to use too much wire. For Sparky, the frame can be very big, but for Scraps, I had to twist it more and make it stronger, since it would have less wool and it would be more fragile. For Zero, I wanted him to be hollow, so I just twisted a bit of wire for the head and left a long piece to figure out with the wool later. Once I was done with the frame, I started building Sparky's body with white wool. The felting needle has sharp spikes that grab the fibers of the wool and tangles them every time you stab the wool. Once I had a base layer of Sparky's body, I started adding gray to match the color in the movie. Once I was happy with the shape, I started adding details, like the eyes and all the stitches. My idea was to make a little scene or diorama, kind of like a snow globe but for Halloween. For small details, I use very small amounts of wool so that I don't lose control of the shape, and I twist the wool before pushing it in so that it is easier for the needle to grab the fibers. With Scraps, I wanted to make him as thin as possible, so I wrapped the whole body in floral tape so that the wool would stick to it and it would be easier to keep it from shifting and having to add more wool. While felting his whole body, I had to be really careful not to break my needle by stabbing it straight into the wire. I made his head hollow because I wanted to add a light inside of it, so I felted the wool at an angle so that it would slowly turn into a hollow sphere, and later added the snout and the jaw. I cut out strips of flat felt for the teeth. Because the material is so stiff, it gives extra structure for the snout. I then opened space for the eyes and put in more flat felt. That way I had a little bit of contrast. I then made Zero with pieces of flat felt. I wanted him to be as transparent as possible, so I split a felt sheet in half. That way it is a very thin layer, but is still sturdy enough to wrap around the wires and form the head. Since it's a Halloween scene, I wanted them to be trick-or-treating. For Sparky, I chose a wizard, and gave him a big wizard hat with stars, just like Dumbledore's. And he has a glowing pumpkin for his candy. For Scraps, I chose a pirate. So I made him a fancy pirate hat and a red bandana. And he gets a pillowcase with a Jolly Roger for his candy. For Zero, I chose a vampire, since he is kind of hard to dress up. So I gave him a cape and sharp teeth, and he has a little bat as a candy basket. I decided to put the characters inside this metal pumpkin decoration. I used the jeweler saw to cut off 2 of the bars so that the inside would be more visible. I made a little road by sewing 2 pieces of flat felt and stuffing it with wool. I then added details with more wool to create little cobblestones. The final steps was placing a couple hidden lights and then putting everything into place. And here is my finished Halloween scene. Thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it and comment which of the characters is your favorite. Also, subscribe to my channel if you want to see my future projects.